Hello everyone and welcome to an unboxing of Metal Gear Solid, the board game, specifically the Integral Edition. You might be wondering, what is the difference? Also, didn't I see this in retail stores like a couple of months ago? Yeah, you did. This has a rather checkered past. I don't remember a lot of it because it was a while ago now, but I think the original funding for it either fell through or something happened with the company, and CMON Games, cool money or not, picked it up and kind of made sure that it shipped out. Kind of similar to what they're doing with a few Mythic Games IPs. So if you backed CMON Games campaign, you got yourself the Integral Edition. For whatever reason, they shipped the bog standard edition to retail stores early. So if you didn't back their original campaign to get it actually launched, you actually got the game earlier. I don't really understand that, but hey, here we are. You do get some benefits for getting this version though, so we'll specifically look at those obviously, and just the board game in general. But if you want to know the specifics of it, it's for 1 to 4 players, age 14 plus. A game is likely to take 60 to 90 minutes. And if we look at the back here, I believe it will sum up rather succinctly some of the differences. So we'll look at all the components and the miniatures that it comes with, obviously. And if you're familiar with Metal Gear Solid, it's like the only really good Metal Gear Solid game to exist. The differences for the Integral Edition are the Metal Gear Rex miniature. I don't even know if it's got gameplay purposes, it might just be for show, but it looks pretty cool there. And a 148-page graphic novel. So those are the differences for getting this version, and we'll see if that was worth the wait compared to just walking into a gaming store and picking it up. So we're going to get this cracked open and see what it's about. So, lid off. I said lid off. Here we go. Oh, okay. And there's Liquid Snake and Psycho Mantis. I'll just put that over yonder. And we have, what is this? Introducing the Integral Edition. Your copy of Metal Gear Solid, the board game, comes with the following 2 items: the Metal Gear Rex figure and a fully illustrated 148-page graphic novel, detailing the beats of the Shadow Moses campaign. Okay, there's also a free digital VR mission you can scan a code for on that thing. I don't know if that's meant to be exclusive to this edition, so I will hide it. So first things first, we have our various tokens for the game. 2 double-sided, or sorry, no, there's 3 in there. 3 sheets of thick card, and it is good thick card. I don't remember how this plays because the campaign was so long ago, so I will not be able to tell you specifics for what the icons are for, but you have everything you need. Oh, there's the tank boss. I was going to say that's the first boss in the original game, but it's not. It's second, isn't it? Because you do Revolver Ocelot first, then the tank. But either way, relative tokens for Merrill, Sniper Wolf, Otacon, and Fox. So yeah, okay. What's that in the bottom? Interact to place the elevator on this tile. I'm interacting. Where's the elevator? It's not working. Then we have many of the oh, that actually got knocked off. It's supposed to be there with the rest of them. So this is the area in which you, well, one of the areas in which you can play. Oh, that's outside at the very start of the game. Actually, no, it's where the helipad is. I recognise these things even if I've not played Metal Gear Solid 1 for many years. So we have a little bit of lava there. Good quality card, actually. It is quite reflective, which is a bit of a shame. Like with the studio light that's just up there. Not super bad, like you could definitely compensate a little bit. It's good quality though, it's thick, it feels nice, and it looks bright and detailed. And there is yet more, so there's a good variety, although I presume, oh yeah, they're named and whatnot. So cargo dock, laboratory, this was the blast furnace, interrogation room. That's the scene they're not going to recreate in this miniature game. You don't get a naked snake miniature as far as I'm aware. Holding cells, oh, with prisoner cells on the back, and I presume these are for guard patrols when they don't know where you are. They'll like turn them around. So that's armory. Oh, that's just called Sniper Wolf, so that's for the Sniper Wolf boss fight. Snowfield A with some ammo counters on it, with the warehouse on the back. Snowfield B with presuming warehouse on the back. Yep, where you fight Vulcan Raven, was that his name? That's where you fight Psycho Mantis. Nuke Building 01, Metal Gear Platform A, and then we have Nuke Building 2, Metal Gear Platform B, Nuke Building, oh it's different levels of course, yeah, an underground base. Oh look, Rex is on the back of that one. There he is. Oh, that's the office where you fight him. Yeah, that's Psycho Mantis' room. And then the trick was you always pulled your memory card out so you couldn't see that you'd been playing too much Suikoden. And then security on the back. So that is all the boards. How many is that? That's got to be at least a dozen. That's that, and they're double-sided. So a good amount of variety. So what do we have next? We have the Shadow Moses campaign, aka the plot to Metal Gear Solid 1. Oh, is it multiple languages? That's really thick. No, that is just English. Okay. That is surprising. Oh, there is a couple of smaller booklets. I've got to open these to have a look. That is a surprisingly thick book. And it's not the graphic novel as far as I'm aware. So, let's see here. No, that is just... Wow. That is the campaign. Oh, it does have... This is the... It's got the comic. Never mind, that's why it's so many pages. I thought it was the mission booklet and the road booklet. No, it's in the Metal Gear Solid art style. I'm not going to show it off. Except a couple of pages. But... Well, actually, yeah, it's comic book pages, but hang on, it is also missions, because there's the Psycho Mantis mission to defeat him. It is 146 pages. So did they just incorporate the graphic novel into the campaign booklet? I guess they did. Because that's Codex, Rulebook, and VR missions. So the Rulebook itself is actually... Okay, that's less scary. It's 19 pages. Still, I imagine, will be quite complicated in places, just because of the nature of stealth combat, which is the focus. And there's the miniatures you get. We'll take a look at them when we get to them. And let's see. Yeah, it doesn't say there's any extra books. I guess that is just incorporating the graphic novel into the missions, so it's telling the story as you play through them. Just fine by me. So I'm not going to look at the specifics in here, but that doesn't seem too bad. And then we have... What is this book for? Oh, this is like plot moments. So one just caught my eye there, which is 0203. That's not a typo, that's true power. What on earth is that about? I'm intrigued. Is there some kind of like meta thing? Like in the original game, to get Murrow's codec code, you had to look at the back of the box for the game. That one stumped me originally, because the first time I played Metal Gear Solid was the Japanese version. So a lot of that game was a puzzle to me when I couldn't understand much of the language. So these are just optional missions, not attached to the Shadow Moses campaign, rather. And I presume you can use other characters as well. These have got to be for bosses. Yep, that's where you fight Ocelot. With the center, what's his name, or whoever, in the middle. That is a VR room. Oh, when Liquid Snake is inside the helicopter shooting at you. That's another VR thing. So this is what you would use if you don't have the Integral Edition, I guess, for a Rex boss fight, so you must get the Rex boss fight regardless. Or for standing on it to beat up Liquid at the end. And then we have the comms tower roof, that's where you fight the helicopter. And then nuke building truck. Alright, so that is some more of those. So next we have, what is this? Guard dashboard. Like a bookmark. Guard order deck, active card. Okay, so this is just an asset you need on the table for them and their basic abilities. Health 2, defense 3. Okay. Need to know the specifics of how it plays after that, and then these are the cards for the playable characters. You get a little bit of the blurb about each character, Otacon, and then his various stats. Kind of similar to went out of focus when I did that, apologies. Gotham City Chronicles, and how that kind of laid out its skills. Hopefully nowhere near as complicated, but we shall see. Then we have, I called him Fox, it's because of Fox Die, Ninja, whatever. We have him, and then, oh, he must have, this must be a boss site or something, because then he is also playable back here as well. And we've got Merle, and you get miniatures to represent all of these. And then Snake, of course. The man. He's good at hiding in cardboard boxes. And then boss cards for Revolver Ocelot. VR. Oh, there's a VR version of the bosses. So yeah, these are the bosses. The Revolver Ocelot, the tank, the helicopter gunship, Psycho Mantis. Did we not get Vulcan Raven? Because I could have sworn Vulcan Raven was before him, but I might be misremembering. I thought Sniper Wolf was before him as well, but these could just be in the wrong order. Yeah, there he is. Vulcan Raven. No Liquid Snake? Well, I guess you fight him in the helicopter, but still. Alright. What a weirdly shaped box. the largest dice you have ever seen. Those are some chunky dice. Wow. Not going to have any trouble reading those, that's for sure. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 black dice and 7 white dice, which look unique because they have the spotted you exclamation mark on them. And then we have cards, which I'm not going to open to individually go through, but it looks like that's a attack deck for the bosses. Revolver Ocelot, generic equipment on the back, and then there's also more of that here. So for example, there is the standard assault rifle. Discard 1 ammo, it looks like. Attack a target in line of sight. It's loud. Place the exclamation mark under your figure. So you get spotted if you use this, but it does damage. Oh, it rolls 2 white dice for damage. There you go. Yeah, and guard reactions to you doing stuff. What is in here though? What is... Oh, it's a PS1 memory card. Memory box. So I guess there's persistent stuff between missions as you play through the campaign, and this is for storing them. That's cute. I like that. Yep, and that's all we used to have back in the day, memory cards. But this game did neat stuff, like I was mentioning, Psycho Mantis, looking for other Konami games on your card and then commenting on them. So, I'll get this out of the way and we'll look at the miniatures. CMON does not usually disappoint when it comes to miniatures, so I have high hopes for these. Let's lift this off and let's start with the Integral Edition exclusive miniature, which is Metal Gear Rex. He does have his gun hands and his, what was the other hand? The missile launcher, the shields. That is a big mech. It does feel, it's hollow plastic, like it does feel very light for what it is, but you have his railgun here, and it does look like it's just for storage that it's not connected, but that goes over there, annoyingly. Wrong hand. Actually, does it? I can't remember which hand had the gun. Nope, you know what? I was right the first time. It's over here. There we go. It actually is designed to be slightly off center, like that. If I pull back here, hopefully that's in focus. And then his little, whatever this was, goes on there. It is a big mini, and it is accurate to how Rex looked. So you won't get that if you have the box standard edition, but everything else within here you should do, including, with legs attached, 2 cardboard boxes. They don't even really need painted because they're the right colour, although I guess you could add details to them, but honestly they're fine as is, I would say. So there's your cardboard boxes, you get 2 of those. Let's look at the bosses first. So you must be able to fight Liquid Snake, and I just didn't see his card because he's got a miniature. So we're going to zoom in and give the camera a second to adjust. So there is Vulcan Raven. Let me zoom in as well, by which I mean move my head closer to the miniature so I can see the detail. And yeah, that looks good. Very unique base shape. I guess you have to know which direction they're facing. He's got all the ammo in the world in that barrel on his back. He will never stop shooting. Nicey icy landing, son, which is a reference I always make regarding Vulcan Raven, and nobody except maybe one friend from childhood will get the reference, but that's okay. Then we have Revolver Ocelot in his Old Man edition, and hopefully in focus now. Detailed bases as well, like it's not just a flat base with a couple of things on it, that has texture, which is nice. And again, a lot of nice detail. Actually feels like nice plastic as well. Like I feel like it'll take paint well. Famous last words maybe, but it feels like it will. Haven't had a problem with CMON miniatures in the past. And then Psycho Mantis. He's standing on a wrecked desk from the commando room that you fight him in. And then Sniper Wolf, complete with Wolf. That's a neat miniature. Or I guess I should say that's a cool miniature, because that's what they want you to say. And a good doggo as well. So yeah, very neat. Have they done that pose specifically to hide a part of her body that might be contentious by today's standards, just out of curiosity? And then Liquid Snake. Complete with itty bitty FMAS or equivalent. I'd say he's got the least going on. It's probably because like you do fight him on top of Rex, so what are you going to do for what he's standing on? It's a sheet of metal. And then, well, the one grey miniature. How did my dog's hair get in here? The one grey miniature, I guess ironically, because he can be both a bad guy and an ally. So, ninja. Very cool miniature. Just a very cool suit in general, very fun. Not an effective stance. You shouldn't really hold your sword like that, but again, the individual details on the back of his armour there, and down his exoskeleton, and like the spine, attention to detail is greatly appreciated. And it'll also work well with contrast, having all those deep recesses for paint going in. And then, the man himself, Solid Snake. This will be a fun one to paint as well, I think. Complete with his silenced pistol, and what's that? Oh, and a broken cardboard box plus, is that rations? That's rations and something else on his base. Nice. The tools of the trade. And then Merle, she's dual wielding. Hopefully again in focus. What's her base? Her base is just kind of stones and stuff. That's a little disappointing. Could have had like crumpled up clothing from when she disguises herself as a guard. You know, something like that. Missed opportunity, but still a very nice model. And then the giant nerd with an even worse father, Otacon, who is just, he's having flame wars with the internet instead of paying attention to what he's doing. He's primarily remembered in the first Metal Gear Solid for peeing himself when he is discovered. And then finally we have, oh, never mind, they must be doing a Merle in disguise because this is a generic soldier costume. Or you can play as a generic soldier, but that's got to be her in disguise. It's got to be, because that's her thing. Snake hides in boxes, she disguises as soldiers. So yeah, that's why that's there. Interestingly, there's a, oh no, that's where the shield thing was. So yeah, that's most of the models besides the guards. And it looks like we have 2, 4, 6 in one pose, 2, 4, 6 in the other. 12 guard models in total. They're all the same, so I'll just show you one of each. Hopefully in focus, there we go. Just some basic metal on the floor with like power lines. You could do some fancy stuff with them, I suppose. And again, an appropriate amount of detail. Looks good. Looks good to me. And the other pose, just kind of on alert, looking around. I wonder if gameplay wise you actually start with these and then once you've been discovered you switch to the other ones who are kind of more actively looking and ready to shoot. That would be interesting. Same amount of detail, same armor, same basic like soldier guy. And that is it. And I don't think there's anything underneath, but just in case, no there is not. I double checked between takes, incidentally, and yes, the graphic novel has just been implemented into the campaign book. And that is that. That is everything you get in the integral edition of Metal Gear Solid, the board game. Did forget to mention, but there was additional gaps in the stuff holding all the card and models for all the tokens once you punch them out of the cardboard, which is appreciated. It's a nice touch. Still might want to baggy it up before putting it in those, but there is space. So that is going to do it. As I said, I hope to get this on the channel sooner or later. It will depend on whether or not I decide to paint the models first and how long that takes. I've left the rulebook out for me to have a quick read through and see how it plays and all that good stuff. But keep an eye out in the future and do let me know if you're excited to see it played. And as I say, you can pick up the normal edition of it already from your local friendly gaming store. Thanks for watching. See you in the future for more. Ta-ta for now.